The glass walls of Miami International Airport buzzed with the hum of travelers. Briefcases clicking, sneakers squeaking, voices overlapping in a symphony of goodbyes and hellos. Ethan Caldwell, 38, stood by gate D-17, his tailored suit crisp, despite the 14-hour flight from Dubai. He adjusted his Rolex, eyes scanning the crowd, not for his connecting flight but out of habit. A man who'd built a tech empire always watched for patterns, opportunities, threats. His phone vibrated with emails about his latest acquisition, a $3 billion deal that cemented his status as one of Forbes' youngest millionaires. Yet, as he scrolled, a familiar laugh sliced through the noise, stopping his heart. It was her, Lily Harper. 5 years since their breakup, and there she was 20 feet away juggling a diaper bag and a fidgeting toddler at a coffee kiosk. Her auburn hair was shorter now, her face softer but tired, etched with lines of a life Ethan hadn't known. The toddler, a boy with dark curls and wide, curious eyes, clutched a toy plane, babbling as Lily fumbled for her wallet. Ethan's chest tightened. He hadn't seen her since their last fight, when she'd called him selfish, obsessed with success, and walked out of his Manhattan penthouse. He'd let her go, too proud to chase, too driven to pause. He almost turned away, but the boy's eyes locked onto his. They were Ethan's eyes, storm gray, unmistakable. His breath caught. No way. He did the math. 5 years since their split. The boy looked about 2. His mind raced, piecing together a truth he'd never considered. He stepped closer, heart pounding, as Lily turned, her smile fading into shock. Ethan? Her voice was a whisper, barely audible over the airport din. Lil, he managed, eyes flicking to the boy. Who's? She hesitated, clutching the child tighter. This is Noah. Her gaze dropped, then met his, steady but vulnerable. He's yours. The words hit like a freight train. Ethan staggered back, the world blurring. His son, a child he'd never known, raised by the woman he'd once loved and lost. Why didn't you tell me? His voice cracked, raw with betrayal and guilt. Lily's eyes glistened. I tried at first. You were untouchable. Always in meetings, flying to Singapore, London. I left voicemails, emails. You never replied. I wasn't going to beg. She swallowed hard. Noah deserved better than chasing a ghost. Ethan's throat burned. He remembered those months after their breakup, burying himself in work, ignoring her calls, assuming she'd moved on. He'd built walls of ambition, shutting out anything that felt like weakness. Now, those walls crumbled. Noah giggled, waving, his toy plane oblivious to the storm between his parents. Ethan's heart ached with a love he didn't yet understand but felt fiercely. I'm here now, he said, voice low. What do you need? Anything. Name it. Lily shook her head, weary. It's not that simple, Ethan. I'm not asking for your money. Noah needs a father, not a checkbook. She glanced at her watch. We're flying to Chicago. I got a job offer there, a fresh start. We're fine without you. The finality in her words stung. Ethan, who closed billion-dollar deals with ease, felt powerless. His flight to New York was boarding soon, but he couldn't walk away. Not again. Let me come with you, he blurted. Just for a day. Let me meet him. Talk. Please. Lily studied him, searching for the man she'd once known beneath the polished exterior. Finally, she nodded. One day. For Noah. On the flight to Chicago, Ethan sat beside Lily, Noah on her lap. He learned fragments of their life. Lily's job as a graphic designer. Noah's love for planes, their tiny apartment in Tampa. She spoke of sleepless nights, medical bills after Noah's ear surgeries, the quiet strength she'd found in motherhood. Ethan listened, humbled, realizing how small his world of boardrooms and private jets seemed compared to her resilience. At O'Hare, Ethan insisted on carrying their bags. They grabbed burgers at a terminal diner, Noah smearing ketchup on his cheeks. Ethan laughed, a real laugh, not the calculated chuckle he used in meetings. When Noah reached for him, sticky hands grabbing his tie, Ethan didn't flinch. He lifted the boy, heart swelling as Noah babbled, "Plane," and pointed out the window. That night in a modest Chicago hotel, Ethan and Lily talked until dawn. She shared her fears. The job was good but demanding, childcare was scarce, and Noah's speech therapy was costly. Ethan shared his regrets. The nights he'd chosen work over love, the emptiness of his success. "I want to be here," he said. "Not just for Noah, but to make things right with you. If you'll let me try." Lily's eyes softened, but she didn't promise forever. "We'll see," she said. "Start with tomorrow." The next morning, Ethan made a choice. Instead of flying back to New York, he canceled his meetings and stayed. He found a speech therapist in Chicago, covering the costs anonymously through a foundation he set up overnight. He rented an apartment near Lily's new job, showing up daily, not with grand gestures but with consistency. He learned to change diapers, read bedtime stories, and sit through Noah's tantrums. Lily watched, wary at first, then hopeful. Months passed. Ethan's empire didn't collapse. He delegated, discovering his team was stronger than he'd trusted. He traded late-night deals for early morning pancake runs with Noah. One evening, as snow dusted Chicago streets, Lily invited him to stay for dinner. Over spaghetti, Noah called him Dada for the first time. Ethan cried, unashamed, as Lily squeezed his hand. By spring, Ethan had changed. He launched a non-profit for single parents, funding childcare and medical care, inspired by Lily's strength. He and Lily weren't back together, not yet, but they were a family, bound by Noah and a shared hope. Ethan, once defined by wealth, found purpose in presence, in love he'd almost lost. As he pushed Noah on a park swing one sunny afternoon, Lily beside him, Ethan realized this was his true fortune. Not millions, but moments, messy, imperfect, and infinitely precious.